Spock doesn't say anything. Spock, not Spock, McCoy. Why do I keep mixing?
Jim, is this how...
Why do I keep mixing them up?
Some odd-looking equipment connected to the torpedo.
And how about we get some laughing gas lines from McCoy for a change?
What does this stuff do? What's going on here?
We're conducting research into the origins of life in the universe. This is our equipment. We believe that, well, I guess you don't have the time. You can get the background in my doctoral thesis.
Spock, mess with them.
I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain. Fascinating equipment. I believe I have seen this sort of equipment someplace before.
We're testing the effect of radiation on combinations of simple and complex molecules. We're trying to see what new forms of life are developed and how they compare to our own early development.
Fascinating.
Hello, Carol. It's good to see you again.
There was a time when I wouldn't have agreed with that statement. But I guess some things do get better with age.
You always could put me in my place, couldn't you?
That's the one thing I could never do. Your place was wandering the galaxy, and that's the one thing I could never give you.
Let's untie these guys. What actually ends this mission is that you untie these... first you have to untie them, and the mission now...
Thank God it's you, Jim. I'm so glad you came.
Now the mission actually ends once you've untied them and then talk to the Romulan here.
It's about time someone got here.
Thank you for saving our station, Jim. This is a very advanced research laboratory.
Oops.
Dr. Anthony Cheever, the assistant of Dr. Marcus.
Also, not important enough to have his own entry in the computer database.
Dr. Carol Marcus, head of this station's research team.
Now,
I remember my mother trying to tell me jokes when I was a child. Now, I finally understand them.
now the central piece.
An odd-looking device, almost like a 20th century torpedo, fitted with an experimental gear.
My God, that's some kind of weapon.
Everyone on this project is an avowed pacifist, Doctor, myself included. We do not make weapons.
Scanning.
Fascinating. This device contains over 10 million forms of life. Patterns I have never seen before.
We call this the cradle, Mr. Spock. One day I hope something wonderful would be produced here.
Now, obviously this is intended as a precursor to the Genesis project and Genesis device, rather than the matter itself. It apparently is meant to sort of...
Why do they call you Bones, Doctor?
Sort of seed a suitable planet with no for previous biological life, with microscopic life forms, which hopefully
Jim, is this how...
will hopefully develop into higher life forms. But unfortunately it seems McCoy won't be giving us any more lines. It would be fun to hear him sing the sound of music, but not going to sit here and wait. Let's end the mission.
Logic. What?
I have called off the Romulan attack on this station, Kirk. I believed your virus was some kind of deliberate attack, but your great honor and compassion have convinced me otherwise.
You also conducted yourself in the most honorable fashion, Centurion Preax. You may return to Romulan space without Federation interference. I assure you, the Federation would never undertake such a foul program. It was all an accident, right, Dr. Marcus? Save it for someone who's buying, Preax. Leave Federation space immediately or we'll scatter your atoms across the quadrant.
Now both choices 1 and 2 work for top points, but let's go with 2 since it seems to give more closure.
You all, I assure you...
Absolutely. We've already destroyed all cultures and purged the data files. This will never happen again.
But how did you do that? The viruses are, in the freezer upstairs. Do you have telekinetic powers or something?
You are an honorable adversary, Kirk. Jolon true.
You are also a worthy opponent, Preax. May you live long and prosper.
Ding!
You'll never cease to amaze me, Jim.
Goodbye, Carol.
Goodbye, Jim.
Well, gentlemen, let's go home.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Arc 7 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I wonder if I'll see Carol again.
Well, if you don't, you can always drown your sorrow in some Romulan ale.
That's illegal, Bones.
Tell that to the Romulans, Jim. I found a whole case they brought on board the Arc 7.
At what point did you get the opportunity to search for that?
They'll never replace Scotch, Captain.
That it won't, Mr. Scott.